Hey everyone, this is Melissa Psihudakis, and welcome to A Breath of Fresh Marketing. I'm here tonight with my co-host, Mallary Thompson.
Woo! Hi, Melissa.
How's it going? Hey, Mallary.
It's going. It's starting to feel more like a week. Like, it used to be that every day felt like Sunday, but now I'm kind of getting more into the flow of it, and I was actually happy it was Friday this week.
Yes, I know. I feel like the week just whizzed by. I blinked, and all of a sudden, we're at the end of the week.
I know. It's crazy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Juliana?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Nothing. We were just saying our hellos and saying how great it is to be done with the week because it just flew by.
Yeah,
we're real excited to have you on our show tonight. So everybody, Juliana Fetherman is joining us tonight, and she is the CEO of Authentic Friendships. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm 23 years old. I graduated with my MBA in May. I live on Long Island, and I am the founder and CEO of Making Authentic Friendships, which is an interactive web app that enables children and adults with special needs to make friends. It was inspired by my brother, Michael. He is 2 years younger than me. He's 21. He has autism and ADHD, and he was always super lonely due to his lack of friends. So I decided to try to change that for him. What else should I tell you about myself?
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Authentic Friendships is and how it works?
Okay, great. So it is an interactive web app, as I mentioned. So it's a website that works like an app. You join and we ask you a series of questions like your age, your diagnosis, your interests, your zip code. And using all of those criteria is how we find the best friend matches for you. Then at the end of the sign-up process, you're also able to make an avatar that looks like yourself. That's a lot like a Bitmoji. So you would be able to change the hair color, the skin color, the clothes, all that. And that just adds to the game aspect. We wanted it to be fun and interactive and super user-friendly, of course. So everything upon signing up is all drop-down menus, big buttons, lots of colors. And like I said, we designed it really because I wanted all the different ability levels to be able to use it. And then once you get through the sign-up process, you will see your friend matches on a map. You can click around, see their avatar, see a little bit about them, and then decide who you want to chat. And within the chat, there's actually suggested like conversation prompts. And I know for my brother and lots of individuals with special needs, that's a really big challenge for them, is just making and keeping conversation. So that's one of my favorite parts about it, because a lot of my users have told me how useful that is for them. And the more you use it, the more you can earn coins, and you can use those coins to buy things for your avatar. So that just full circles with the game aspect. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay, very cool. So what was the process of making sure this app was accessible for everyone?
So obviously with my brother, growing up with a brother with autism, my family and I are very involved in a lot of organizations that are around autism and special needs. And I also have worked with a lot of individuals with special needs through babysitting, life coaching, camps, so many different things. So, I mean, I felt when I decided to do this that my skill set was already kind of aware of what the community would need. So I did a lot of the initial designing around what I know from my work that individuals would benefit from, as well as what my brother would benefit from. And then I used my connections in the special needs world and industry to kind of test those hypotheses and just, ask people that also understand what they think of each of the concepts and each feature I wanted to have. And again, running things past my brother. For me, it was like less research and more just using parts of my own life to try to leverage to make the best possible platform. And then once we actually launched the web app, which didn't happen until August, so it's been about 8 months, I knew that I would want to make a lot of changes based off user feedback. So that's kind of why I did a web app as well, because it's easier to make changes on a web app. So I take a lot of user feedback, whether it's on the platform itself or people message me or tell me personally. And, I take that very seriously. And we pretty much make changes on a monthly basis based off of feedback we get from our users.
It's awesome that you're you have so many connections within the special needs community, and it sounds like you a lot of people reach out to you. What are some of your favorite moments that your app has created for people that you've gotten to hear about?
So my absolute favorite happened a few months ago. Someone messaged me on Facebook telling me that they've been using my app, and it was the time when the new Star Wars movie was out. And they told me that they love the Star Wars series and it's their favorite movie. And for the first time ever, they have a friend to go to the movies with and go see it with. And that to me was like the best thing ever. So that just makes it all worthwhile. I actually had that review put on a tapestry.
Aww.
Hanging up now. But yeah, it's just a reminder for me, when times get tough and, you hit the bumps in the road, which you always do. I sometimes question, why am I doing this? It's so hard. Why did I think I could do this? Stuff like that. And then it's times like that and reminders that I try to keep around me like that keep me grounded and remind me why I'm doing it. And it's actually for the greater good and to better other people's lives. And if I could do that in one person's life, it is worth it,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely. So what were some of the obstacles you faced while putting together Authentic Friendships?
Oh, God, so many. Obviously, with anything you're trying to start, whether it's a business or a podcast or an Instagram account, you're going to have obstacles. And it's hard when you're in it to realize this, but, they really do help you grow. Initially, when I first started writing my business plan, this was almost 4 years ago now, I put a whole summer into writing a business plan and, making a 5-year plan and just doing all this work around what I wanted it to be. And then something similar actually came to market and I freaked out and cried about it and all this. I'm like, oh, it's over. And then I signed my brother up for that platform and, gave it a look myself. And I actually didn't like some aspects of it. Their platform was more about words on a page. So at that time, I used that feedback I took from that to pivot my business plan. And then I ended up creating the game aspect of making Authentic Friendships. So the avatar and the coin earning and the interactiveness of it, which I actually love way more than my initial business plan. So at the time, I was very upset and inconsolable about it. But, looking back now, it's one of my greatest blessings because I wouldn't have pivoted to make it what I love so much now. So, that was a big obstacle. And, I face them all the time. Just the first time you have to do anything, the first time I had to get up and talk in front of a room of people, or the first time I launched a crowdfunding campaign. There's so many firsts, and those are all really hard times to put yourself out there. But at the end of the day, it has made me stronger, and it has made me the person I am. And, for that, I'm so grateful.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you've come a long way. So what's next? Are there any new reveals in the future or features that you're working on?
It's hard to say. I mean, obviously with what's going on in the world right now, it's a little difficult for everyone. I was in the middle of trying to do another round of investment to make the transition over from the web app to the actual app. So that's in the works. And then when we can do that, we'll be able to put out more resources. We plan to have social skills building activities, and among other things that we can add to what we can offer, which will be amazing. And it'll be a little more accessible for people. So we're really excited for that. I was supposed to do Good Morning America right before we got quarantined.
Bummer.
So I've been assured that we are going to reschedule that, so I'm hoping that is the case. So that is on the horizon. My outfit has been hanging on my door this entire quarantine to make me remember that, when this is all over, I'll get to wear it and it'll be so great. So I'm really looking forward to that. And if you guys follow me, I am obsessed with Ellen and getting on Ellen, and I've been writing to her for a year. So I'm hoping that's on the horizon. We've made some progress with that. So, fingers crossed that when this is over, that'll be the next thing,
Definitely. And I have to know, what is the outfit hanging on your door?
It is a blazer, pants, and pants set that it's black, and it has pearls hanging from the bottom of the jacket and then pearls hanging from the bottom of the pants.
Ooh, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. It's so cute.
That's awesome. We will look for you on Good Morning America.
Yeah, we will. Awesome.
Thank you.
What's some advice that you would give to other entrepreneurs like yourself?
There's so many things. And I honestly hate giving advice because on these things, I sound so positive and so like I've never had an issue in my life. And that is so not the case. It's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. But like I said, it's worth it. If you have a dream and a passion and something that in your heart that you can make reality, or it can help people, or whatever the case is, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world to try and do that. You're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into problems, but that's all part of the journey. Don't give up and don't let people tell you can't do something. In fact, use that as fuel to actually do it more. I love when people tell me I can't do things. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, and just don't be too nice. That's something that's
don't be too nice.
That's been really hard for me because I'm so nice.
Is that
so,
a Long Island thing? That sounds like a Long Island thing.
Maybe.
I haven't known Melissa very long, but I feel like that's a Long Island thing.
Probably. It's just you should be nice. It's just I'm so non-confrontational, and so I tiptoe around things, and that's a big transition I've had to make as a businesswoman, knowing when to be nice and knowing when you need to stand up for yourself, or when you need to push a little. And that was always personally hard for me, because that's just not me. Mm-hmm. But in order to get places in life, sometimes you need to be a little pushy and you need to be a little aggressive. So that's a big thing. Has
your age been a struggle with that too? People hear that you're 23 and they're like, she's just a baby. I can do whatever I want. Has that been an issue, or have you not really noticed?
No, I think definitely a little. And especially when I take investment meetings or more serious meetings with usually male figures that are, double my age, triple my age. And, right. They have a huge business, a lot of money, a lot of power. And they just look at me okay. And that's fine. It's natural. But my dad always, insists on coming with me to those meetings because he's
you bring the muscle.
Which is probably true because, as I said, I get very passive and I don't like confrontation. So my dad is always the one to step in for me. So I'm lucky for that. Yeah, I mean, people are going to doubt you no matter what. I think just own it and know you deserve to be doing whatever it is you're doing and do it,
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. That's the key. You do have to own it. And I'm a lot older than you are, but, I had those same struggles, and you really have to be strong. And as a woman entrepreneur, you have to stand your ground, hold your head up high. And, you said it best. You have to own it, because otherwise people will take advantage. They will walk all over you, and they'll do whatever you let them. You definitely have the right attitude. So I love that.
Thank you.
That's great. So we noticed the app is for ages 13 and up. Do you get more downloads from younger or older demographics?
So I really haven't even been saying that anymore because, it is the truth. You have to be 13 or older to make a profile for yourself. And that's because of child protective laws and whatnot.
Right.
The way we've kind of progressed it is that a parent or caregiver can sign up on someone's behalf. So if someone is under 13, then their parent can just run their account. And then it's more just talking to other parents, setting up a play date. Okay. So I've seen kind of a growth in kind of younger users since I've talked about it that way. But we have honestly a big variety. We have, I'd say the majority are probably like teens to 20-year-olds, like people in their 20s, like young adults, because that's like a really challenging time for anyone, but specifically for individuals with special needs. Many times they stay in school till they're 21, and that's when they age out at 21, which just happened to my brother this year. And that's a time where it gets really hard for them because the unemployment rate for them is really, really high. A lot of day programs and workplaces have a long waiting list. So many of them just do nothing and aren't around people and aren't around people like them, especially. So that time is really, really difficult for them. So I think that's a big reason why we see a lot of users in that age range, because they're really looking for things like this. But we have users 40s, 50s, 60s years old.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's amazing. And we do have an option where you could filter by age, because I know like it gets a little uncomfortable for some parents and stuff if they're like young kids. So you can like filter through users by age. And like I said, the algorithm is built to match you based on people that are close to your age, similar to you. But right now, while we're really focusing on building up the database, we pretty much show people near you in general, if that makes sense.
So do you think your app is more popular with the 20-something-year-olds, or would you say even above that? Because you had mentioned 40 and 50-year-olds. So would you say most of your signups are in that 20-year-old age range?
Yeah, I think it's still definitely younger is more popular. But I always like to mention it, because a lot of like older adults can also utilize it.
Absolutely. That's great. Do you think there's been a spike in downloads since the whole pandemic happened?
Yeah, I mean, there has been, but honestly, not as much as I thought there would be. I've been doing more like podcasts, obviously, and more, Zooms and this and that. So I thought for sure there would be, and there has been a little, but you'd be surprised. Like, I know a lot of people in my community, and like my brother, his workplace, he works for a place that employs people with autism, and he's busier than ever. I mean, they have Zoom calls all day long, full schedule. And I know a lot of the organizations near me are doing that, and even like at night they have like yoga and this and that, paint night and all these things. So I think a lot of them are actually pretty busy right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, would you say that Authentic Friendships is a full-time job for you now?
Oh, yeah. And it, to be honest, always has been. I work on it 30 to 40 hours a week on average, I'd say. But I don't actually do this full time because I don't pay myself from my business yet. So I have side jobs that I do to actually make money. So I babysit. I pretty much babysit 30 hours a week and work on the business 40 hours a week.
Awesome.
It's nice because I babysit like babies. So like while they nap and stuff, I can work. Yeah. And, you got to do what you got to do until you don't.
Stay away from toddlers.
Right.
Toddlers are the worst.
Yeah, I know. One of my babies, I started with him when he was 6 months, and now he's like 1.5 now.
Oh.
So he's getting there, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Nope, once they start walking, it's all downhill from there.
I know. He's not walking just yet, but he's close. So I'm like, by the time quarantine's over, I'm like, he's going to be walking.
Nope, you're going to have to find another job.
No, I can't, though. I love him too much now.
They get a lot less cute when they're like 5. That wears off too. Cute wears off eventually. How do people find out about Authentic Friendships? What are some marketing tactics that you use to target your niche market?
So yeah, like I said, it is a web app right now. So it actually isn't on the App Store, and people get so confused by this.
Oh, so you're online. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So it's makingauthenticfriendships.com right now, and it does everything the app will do, but we're trying to make that transition soon over to the App Store. But the main way I drive traffic, honestly, is from social media. People totally don't realize the power of social media. I mean, some people do, but like my dad was always hating. Yeah, you do. I know. But my dad was always hating on me for putting so much effort into the social media, like early on. And I knew, being my age and everything, how important it was going to be. And he was like, I don't know why you're taking so much time on that. And now that was like the best thing I ever did, because I did that for 2 years before I even launched my web app. When it launched, within the first 2 weeks, I had hundreds of users already because these people were like waiting for it.
Wow.
And to this day, now I have a huge community of family members, siblings, parents, providers, teachers, and I really do have personal relationships with a lot of them, and it's so nice, you know? We all talk to each other and can just share stories that a lot of people won't understand. We're just over 12,000 followers right now, so...
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How has your life changed since launching your company?
Oh my goodness. It's changed so much. I am so, like, if I could go back 4 years ago and thank myself for, like, doing this, I am, like, so happy I did what I did. I have been given the coolest opportunities ever. I'm so thankful. Like, people don't get these opportunities in their whole lives. And, like, I am only 23, and I'm like, I can't believe this. I don't know if you saw last week or maybe 2 weeks ago now. Who can even keep track of the time these days? My Forbes article came out, which was huge. And then last month, I had a Lifetime commercial on TV on Lifetime, which was amazing. They came to me. They flew here. They flew 12 crew people here to film a commercial about me. Like, makeup, everything. Yeah, that was so awesome. It's just like crazy. I'm like, how is that like my life? It's insane.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, we definitely saw the Forbes article, and you had actually said, quote, start now, see the value in your life experiences and use it to position yourself as an authority, end quote. So we want to know, what do you think the first step is in starting your own business?
there's like a few like preliminary steps that I did. Like I wrote a basic business plan, did some like logistics, but the first like true step I think is proving concept. I'm big on not putting a lot of, time, money, resources into something that you don't know if there is an audience for. For me, I did that through social media, and I think living in the time that we live, that's like a really good option for everyone to just put it out there on a social media page, follow people within your target audience, and see the reaction you get. And that's like such a great way to prove concept. And I did that for a long time. And at that time, like when I did that, I only had told my close friends and family. So obviously, your friends and family say like, oh yeah, that sounds great. But it's a whole different ballgame once you're hearing it from total strangers that are telling you, oh, my son can use this, my cousin can use this, my neighbor can use this. And that just really changes perspective, because you're like, wow, this isn't just an idea my family thinks is a good idea. It's actually like a good idea that strangers think is a good idea.
So who do you look up to and why?
Everything I do is like super personal. Obviously, my business is around my family. So, of course, I look up to my parents a lot. They've taught me all the important things, that's for sure. Just like showing people kindness and being the better person all the time and doing things for others and all that. But that's like cliche. So I don't know if I want to say that.
Okay, we'll take it. We will take it.
Yeah, so I just really look up to my parents, and then my dad, who's become my business partner.
You gotta mention your dad. Yeah, he's the one that goes into the business meetings and punches guys in the face for you.
Yeah, literally. He is really successful in the corporate world, but entrepreneurship world, he was so scared of it in the beginning. But now he always tells people how excited he is that he gets to like basically have like a second branch of his career and like being in the entrepreneur world. So I just really look up to him for like stepping up with me and like taking that. He hates risks. Like he's not a risk taker, and the whole entrepreneurship thing is like obviously risky. So I really look up to him for like taking that risk with me. And I know it's like it's scary for him, but I'm glad we get to experience that together.
Aw.
Well, that's really nice. So, which social media channels are you kind of focused on? Instagram, is that kind of where you're doing kind of most of your posting and everything?
Oh yeah. Instagram's my favorite. I don't know. I mean, I am the most successful on Instagram, but I think it's because I just like it the most. So I just am like always on it. Yeah. So I have, like I said, over 12,000 followers on Instagram, and then like Facebook and Twitter, I have like 1,000. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely think there's different demographics on different platforms.
Sure.
Obviously, And I have my MBA in marketing and like took all the classes about like the specifics of these things, but I'm just talking from my own experience, not like the logistics of it. So yeah, I mean, it's funny because my target audience really is mostly like parents and caregivers of people who have children with special needs. So you would think it'd be Facebook because they say like, that's like what our parents use. But I've had so much success with Instagram, and I just love sharing pictures and stories, and I don't know, I just love it.
Definitely. And for the folks listening at home, what's your Instagram handle so they can look you up and follow you?
At Making Authentic Friendships on all platforms.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We loved having you on the show, and it's nice to have a fellow Long Islander on because I'm in Long Island too. And of course, you can look up more information, check out our podcast and our Instagram at Web Rocket Media. And Juliana, we wish you the best, and we'll be looking for you on TV.
Cannot wait to see those pearls. I'm excited.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very excited. Hope your outfit's going to be amazing for you. I'm sure you're going to look
and
fabulous.
we'll be sure to tag Ellen in our posts. So, I can't promise she'll see it, but we will make the effort for you because you made the effort for us. So.
Oh, thank you. I've done literally everything imaginable to get her to notice me, but I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, you can never give up, and eventually you will be on.
Tag her in all of your posts. That's my marketing recommendation. Just tag her every time you put a post up. Just tag her. That's it.
You gotta talk it into reality,
Yeah. No, eventually somebody will see it and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, Ellen." That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you can make a crazy video.
Oh, yeah.
Scream and go crazy and just like tell Ellen how much you love her. And then she'll just be like, you know what? I need to have Juliana on my show because she's been writing to me for the last year. And
it's only a matter of time. It is.
I literally had a professional video made of me and my brother in Ellen shirts telling her why she should have us on her show, and she still doesn't want me, but it's fine.
What? No. It's not
okay.
Ellen.
It's okay.
I believe you will be on Ellen. I have this psychic thing in my head. It's telling me you're going to be on the Ellen show. And you know what? Persistence will pay off. I promise.
Oh, I know I will be. No one in my family is allowed to say, like, if I'm on Ellen. Everyone says when.
Yeah.
Because you got to
manifest it. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. It will happen.
Thank you so much.
Juliana Fetherman,
thank you
so
for
much
having me.
for joining us. Yes. Good luck to you and take care. Wish you all the best.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.